Alright, today we are looking at the Mophie Spacestation. These were rather popular back when the iPhones came out and they only had 16 or 32 gigabytes of internal storage with no way to upgrade them. This was a way to store your files externally without having to rely on a cloud connection. This is basically a charging pack. It has two SD cards in there, either 16, 32 gigabyte or 64 gigabyte. This version has two 16 gigabyte cards. Comes with a rather nice and thick, high-speed micro USB charging cable. So it's showing its age. It's not the newer USB-C, but micro B. And it welded two 3,000 milliamp batteries for 6,000 milliamps, which, given that most batteries nowadays have about 3,500 milliamps to 4,500 milliamps, you can get one and a half full charges off of. Mind you, you can only use about 5,500 milliamps because it reserved 500 milliamps of the pack to run its internal computer for the data storage. Now, we are extracting the micro SD cards out of here. First, you flip it on its back. You'll see the size. It says 32 gigabytes. The little USB icon, the little charge icon. You got your FCED info right here. I use a safety razor. You gotta be careful to keep this completely flat. Otherwise, you risk puncturing the lithium-ion pouch that's in there. Not something you want to do. Okay. I'm using a pry tool, but you could also use a screwdriver. And just giving it a quick twist. Okay, with that, the cover is out. You can see the battery pack and the two micro SD cards along with the computer board plugged into the charging board, which is underneath it. Now, once you take these cards out, you can still use this as a charging unit. And you'll still be able to use most of this capacity, 5,500 milliamps or so. So if you have a project that needs a battery pack, you could also extract the pack and use it as that too. It's got a little bit of tape. I just cut very carefully, trying not to damage the traces. And there we go. SanDisk, 16 gigabyte HC Class 1 card. It's a class 4, so it can write at 4 megabytes per second. Or is it megabits? One of those. Now, I reuse these for a while as SD cards for my 3D printers. Just tap that back down. Put the lid back on as neatly as possible. And using a Sharpie, I just cross out the 32 gigabyte and put 0 gigabyte. So I know this one's been harvested. I also usually put the date, which is April 2022. So I know which packs are the oldest. Now you'll have to connect these to the computer and reformat them as a FAT32 volume. Otherwise, because they are RAIDed together, so it's got a RAID file system on there that won't be recognized normally. And then you can just use them for storage.